Hello, it's Reverend Adam once more, and blessings to you. I'm showing you today how to make your own self-lighting incense powder. And today we're using mint, bergamot, also known as bee-balm, white sage, and I'm going to add some cinnamon sticks to the mixture as well. What I like to do is I like to use table scraps or anything left over from any sort of workings that I was doing the day before, whatever. I always save those table scraps so I can make incense powders. Today I'm making an all-purpose incense powder, so I'm using for my base sticks that come from the herbs and things that I've been drying out in order to store after destemming them. I save the stems, the branches, whatever, so I can make these bases, as the stems themselves will still have some of the essential oils from the herb in them as well as the scent. A lot of people like to use sawdust, so you can see it a little better. I put it in my hand there, because sawdust makes a really good incense base. You're also going to need some saltpeter. Saltpeter is what makes the incense ignite and helps it to burn. As you can tell, I have my working candle going on because I am making a magical item. And I have already grounded up some of the base with some of the herbs so you can see what it looks like. And when you're not using it, I prefer that you keep it in a glass jar, as the glass will not taint the magical properties. And it's a pretty fine powder, just very similar, if not exactly, close to what you find in the cans that you can buy of powdered incense. I'm going to go ahead and put bergamot and rosemary into this as well, essential oils. Do not use the synthetic scented oils because they will stifle the ability for your self-lighting incense to really burn and do well. When using oils in your incense, only put 1 or 2 things of or drops of oil per incense batch. This will help it with the scent but will not stifle it from being able to burn properly. Instead of using my mortar and pestle for making the incense, I'm preferring to use my coffee grinder today, so that way I can get it as powdery like as possible. The mortar and pestle would take a lot longer, and while it is more traditional, it doesn't do quite as good of a job making the powder as powdery as it possibly can be. What you're going to do is you're going to take your base and you're going to put your base into the grinder, and you're also going to add any of the extra leaves and herbs that you want to in with it in the grinder. You can even put the drops of essential oil into the grinder at the same time. You want to grind it for about a good 2 to 3 minutes, so that way you can get it as powdery as possible. Then you mix in your saltpeter with what you have ground, and you can either mix it with the grinder or you can mix it in a bowl, whichever way you prefer. A lot of people prefer the bowl because the grinder has metal in the blade, and that might end up igniting your powder if you're not careful. So I hope this video has been helpful, and when it comes to making an all-purpose incense powder, you can put everything into it that you want, because it is an all-purpose powder, and the more you have in it, the merrier. If you want to make a powder specifically designed for love or money or any other different goals that you might have in mind, you can add and use the proper herbs that are associated with love or money to make such powders. Alright, well thank you for watching and have a good